Okay, hi, we've got here Admiral Ackbar on the Revenge of the Jedi logo card, and I just got him yesterday, so it's June the 5th today, and just shows you how behind I am in my collecting of modern stuff. And great figure though, and I've got this at Toys R Us. They've got an offer there where you can buy one and get the other half price. So I've got Admiral Ackbar, and I also got PONDA BOBA. But I'm starting off with Admiral Ackbar, and it's a great figure. I mean, the sculpting's really good. I've watched a few reviews, and flyguy.net, he had trouble with his Admiral Ackbar figure where this arm here broke. So you've got to be really careful with that. But I want to keep it on card anyhow. So everyone knows about Revenge of the Jedi. That was the original name of the episode 6, and then they changed it to Return of the Jedi. This figure comes on both Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Jedi logos, and they had both at Toys R Us in Collier's Wood, which I walked to and then walked home. So that's about a good 10-12 mile walk. Okay, so that's the front of the card, and you can see the detail of the figure. Really looks movie accurate. Amazing. It's got a ball jointed head, shoulders, elbows, swivel forearms, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball jointed knees, and no articulation on the feet. But that doesn't really matter. Comes with this sort of scanning device at the top there, which you can see he's holding in the picture there, and a sort of military officer type command stick there, which the original vintage figure came with. Okay, this is a Euro card, so the stickers are on the front, blacking out the ages, and if you look at the back, it's got the Euro sticker on the back. So a lot of people don't like these stickers, but what can you do? You can take them off, they're quite easy to take off. I'm going to leave it on. So we've got Admiral Ackbar there from 2011, early 2011 I guess, VC22, great figure, great card image, just like the original 1983 card back. And here I've got the original, or my original Admiral Ackbar. I had this from childhood, so here you can just see him standing next to the new figure, new version. That's Admiral Ackbar that I got on a mail away offer from about 1983, late 82 maybe. Great figure. As you can see, it looks a lot more orangey red in the skin tone. Great sculpting for its time. Obviously the feet and the clothing's a lot more simpler. Has a sort of beige vest, but it's still a good figure. Comes with a sort of similar item to this one there, sort of but in black, which I have, but I can't be bothered to go dig it up. Comes with yellow stripes and trousers, which Admiral Ackbar, the new version, has as well. So I'm going to bring this one closer to have a look at. This is the original 1983 Admiral Ackbar. Great figure. Good condition for the amount of time I've had it. Or maybe a bit of cracking there, I've just noticed. I hope that's just in the paint, not the plastic. Yep. Admiral Ackbar. This figure has swivel hips, swivel arms, and a swivel head. I've got one of these carded, which is up on YouTube. Return of the Jedi card. Not the best condition, but if you wanted to check that out. So this is the Admiral Ackbar, my figure I had when I was 13 or 12 years old. The date on the back of this is 1982, and it's made in Hong Kong. And there you go, Admiral Ackbar. It's a trap, it's a trap. I tell you, it's a trap. Believe me, it's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. And then we've got the new Admiral Ackbar. Let's see if we can have a better look at this figure before he starts shouting it's a trap. Okay, you can see the detailed pad there he comes with. The head sculpt's amazing. Got a lot more details on the skin, like tones of browns and orange, sort of the eye detail is really good. Got a sort of badge there on his lapel, belt, yellow stripes, just like the vintage figure. So all in all, this is such a massive improvement over the vintage figure. I've got Power of the Force one. I haven't uploaded that, but I can't find the stupid thing, so I'm afraid you're going to have to miss that one out. But there you go. Power of the Force 2, that is. Okay, so Revenge of the Jedi, Admiral Ackbar. I bet you he'll say, come on, they'll both say it. Hello, hello, it's a trap, 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 believe me, it's a trap, it's a trap. Okay, so that's enough of that nonsense. So BC22, most of you will have this figure because it's been around for quite a while, but I'm just showing you how far behind we are in the UK. Admiral Ackbar, I mean, I wanted to get more figures, but they only had Admiral Ackbar, the PONDA BOBA, and I wanted to get the Roof or Klaatu figure, but there was no other figure I really wanted. They had loads of the Phantom Menace figures, but I just wasn't motivated enough to get the Roof and another figure, because you're getting so I've got the Admiral Ackbar and the PONDA BOBA for about 14 quid altogether, because you get one for half price. Okay, so there you go. Admiral Ackbar on Revenge of the Jedi card. Looks sweet. If I was going to get if you haven't got this one yet, try and get the Revenge cards, because it just, you know, it's the proverbial dogs, you know, so get that one, yeah? Alright, cheers, goodbye, and all that sort of stuff. Any comments and all that sort of stuff, leave below. Cheers, bye. Okay, here I've got Wallace Man, also known as PONDA BOBA, since 95 I guess, yeah, 95, 96, and this is an excellent figure. This is the one I went looking for yesterday when I went to Toys R Us, and they had 2 left, maybe 3. Okay, so Wallace Man, this is a great figure, almost up there with Gamorrean Guard, but the Gamorrean Guard is just something else, so, you know. But this is still a great figure. Comes with many accessories, and Toys R Us have got a good deal at the moment. You buy one for $8.99 and you get the second one for half price. So you get the second one, which was the Admiral Ackbar, for £4.50, and the total was £13.48. There's the receipt, Toys R Us. So that's not too bad a deal. And I might go to another Toys R Us if I can go all the way to Old Kent Road, which is quite a long way away, to check out what they've got there. Okay, this is a really good figure. Okay, the image on the front of the card is not the same as the original image on the 1978, 79, 20 or 21 back Wallace Man card. And Super Obliterator, he did a review of Wallace Man recently, plus Dr. Everson, and he made a comment about that, and I said, well, the reason why they changed the image so much was that back in 78, 79 they weren't really working with much artwork, and so the figure they ended up with didn't really look much like the figure from the film, so they had to sort of more or less put a sort of airbrushed, almost painted version of the figure's image on the card front, sorry, and that figure's quite classic. That's probably out of all the vintage figures, is the figure that looks the least like what it's meant to. It's got a funky orange and blue outfit, and I mean the head sculpt's not too bad, but the rest of it is just pretty out there, very 70s, very disco, if you ask me. Okay, so this is the PONDA BOBA, and yep, great figure. Comes with 2 interchangeable hands, so you can have the sort of clamshell hands or the furry hands. It's got an arm that you can put in that can be sort of pulled out midway and simulate where Obi-Wan cuts it off, and you've got a bit of blood there. All in all, this is a brilliant figure. Sculpting's just amazing. The jacket just looks really detailed, like all the sort of folds and all that sort of stuff. The beige undervest looks cool, brown trousers look great, black boots, articulation of the figure's top notch, the head's ball jointed shoulders. On those two arms that are already in the figure, they're both ball jointed at the elbows, swivel wrist, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball jointed knees, ball jointed ankles. And then the other arm only has a swivel at the elbow because of the pull apart feature. And all you do is pull out the arm on the right hand side and push in the other arm. I think you've got to be careful when you do that because the actual pin that goes in there looks quite thin. So, and then it also comes with a glass which is half filled with a white milky substance, which could be milk or space milk. Comes with a blaster which everyone says is very like the TIE Fighter pilot's blaster, but this one has a more silvery gunmetal look to it. The image on the card looks amazing. It's just from the film. I mean, PONDA BOBA this Wallace Man just looks really amazing. Most of you will have this now. It's been around for quite a while. This is VC70. It's on a European stickered card. So you've got stickers there, and then if you look at the back, you've got a sticker at the back, and it says PONDA BOBA VC2070. Okay, so let's go back to the front of the card. Excellent figure. Can't really fault it. Don't know why it took so long to get this one. Highly recommended. Must have this one. The reason why I went after this one yesterday was I've heard on the grapevine that this figure's getting scarce, so I thought I'd better get one before it disappears, because you know, and I'm really glad I got it. It just looks amazing, you know, and really good reviews out there. Sith Lord, flyguy.net did 2 really good reviews of this figure. Micah done a good review of this, and a few others. So just go on YouTube, check other people's reviews. Okay, because I'm not going to take this one out of the packet, because you know I keep my stuff on the cards, and I think the card is part of the aesthetic. You know, this takes me back to the late 70s. So that's why it appeals to someone who's in my age, like Laugh It Up Fuzzball as well. Okay, so great figure, and there's Admiral Ackbar behind it. So 2 great figures there, and I'm going to show you one more vintage figure in a minute. I'm going to take some pictures as well of this figure because it looks so cool. Alright, cheers. Okay, here we've got Darth Maul, and I got him in Sainsbury's, just next to where the Toys R Us was, and this was the only one they had of Darth Maul. They had a few other Phantom Menace, and it's good that Sainsbury's has finally got some of the vintage figures in, though it looks like they've only got the Phantom Menace wave in. Usually they just have droids, I mean Clone Wars and those sort of things, rather than the vintage collection. So the main place in the UK you can get these vintage collection cards is Forbidden Planet or Toys R Us, and Forbidden Planet's a bit pricey. Forbidden Planet, this is £12, whereas at Sainsbury's it was £7.99, and this one is in perfect condition. It's unpunched, really nice card. They must have just put it out that day or the day previous, because it was just it's in such a nice condition. This is probably one of the Phantom Menace figures I did want, because Darth Maul is such a cool character. Lots of reviews of this figure. It's a great figure. Everyone gives it the thumbs up. Has a plastic hood, cloth cape and cloak. So there's a mixture of materials. It has 2 lightsabers. It has an unlit lightsaber and a lightsaber that you can put together, which once it's put together, both ends are lit, and that will look pretty sweet. Comes with a pair of binoculars, and this is just a great figure. Darth Maul is a figure that's always been a bit of a poor cousin to the likes of Darth Vader in terms of articulation and stuff like that. They never really got it right until now, and you've got to think that's been a long time, because the first Darth Maul came out in '99, so we've been waiting a long time for a decent Darth Maul to come out, and finally this year it's come out. Great image on the card of Darth Maul from episode 1. This one has the US offer for a life-size Darth Maul statue. You could win that, signed by George Lucas. Closing date for that is end of August. European card though, it's got stickers all over it, so stickers at the top. You can see it's unpunched. The figure looks amazing. Great figure. Back of the card has the typical Euro sticker on it, like the other two figures I got there as well. So Darth Maul on a Phantom Menace vintage collection card. He's BC, what is he? BC 86. So one of the more recent releases. But I mean, he's been around for a while, so most people have this figure. Okay, there are 2 of these at Forbidden Planet when I went there on Friday, but they were 12 quid, so I sort of erred and decided not to pay that much. And I'm glad I waited. Okay, so Darth Maul, Phantom Menace, great figure, has the plastic hood which can be removed to reveal. I think this Darth Maul's got quite longer horns than previous releases. Looks pretty good. The face paint artwork on the face looks really good. The details from the lightsaber look really good on both lightsabers, and the details from the macro binoculars look decent as well. So all in all, a great figure. Easy to find reviews of this figure, especially if you want to see what the actual figure is like loose. Obviously I want to keep this one carded. Great image of, yep, I like the photograph, like the vintage style of the card, you know, so great item. And I've got here a episode 1 from 1999, Darth Maul. So this is probably the 2nd or 3rd release of Darth Maul, and it comes in all the sort of capes he's got. The capes are plastic. Comes with a lightsaber which is lit on one side only. Detail on the figure, visually it looks good. I've always had this one out of packet, just display, and I'd have bought this back in the day, 90, maybe 2000, when these figures were really cheap. In terms of articulation, it's really limited, so the hips will have swivel hips, swivel shoulders, head doesn't move, swivel elbows, that's it. But it looks good. I mean, it's a great display piece. Let's see if I can bring it closer. Darth Maul from episode 1. Good detailing on the lightsaber. Not as good as the new version, but still not bad. So Darth Maul from episode 1. Great figure. In all vinyl cape. So we've got Darth Maul from 99 and the new Darth Maul from 2012. It's about 13 years separating these two figures. Great figures though. So if you want to check these out, I'd recommend the new Darth Maul, definitely. Okay, so cheers, bye. Okay, here's a slightly older figure. It's CLEGG Holdfast from the 2009 Build-A-Droid Legacy Collection series, and he's a pod racer pilot from episode 1. I only got it because it was $6.99 on Forbidden Planet, and this was the cheapest figure they had, so I thought I might as well get it. And it has the episode 1 Qui-Gon EP figure offer, and it's a droid factory, so it includes 1.5 part to make a droid in the back. Great figure, quite small. In terms of articulation, his head, I think, either may not swivel, it's hard to tell. I've seen reviews of this figure loose, and the main bugbear is that at the elbows and knees there's no bending, but there are joints there, so maybe they're just really stiff, and you just got to be really careful not to break them when you try and get them to loosen up. The detail of the figure is quite good, nice paint job, sort of armour and the jewels on the armour. Comes with a blaster and some goggles, which are probably hard to put on because he's got 5 horns sprouting out of his head. But the detailing on the figure is really good, looks like the character in the picture. So, not an essential character, more of a really sort of obscure background character. Maybe you can get him now in the pod racer pack, where you get about 5 or 6 pod racers in a box set. So this is just getting it singularly carded, front of the card, and now we're going to look at the back of the card. So you can see a picture of the CLEGG Holdfast from the film, looking rather pompous. The actual figure there, the droid, you've got the leg to build the robot L8, L9, and it says CLEGG Holdfast is one of the pod racers in the Boonta Eve Classic. CLEGG is a journalist for the Pod Racing Quarterly and enters the race to better cover the stories. His engines are destroyed during the race and he crashes in the desert. And then there's 3 other figures in the range. You've got Rom's Legg, which I'd really like to get that figure, Darth Sidious's hologram, and the Biker Scout. I've got the Biker Scout. So that's the back of the card. Here's the front again. Let's bring it closer so you can see the figure in more detail. Okay, so you've got a really good figure there. So bring it back a bit so it gets back into focus. So it's a bit out of focus now. Probably can pick this out on Mart or on eBay, pretty cheap. Don't see why it'd be expensive. Not a bad figure, but it's not a brilliant figure either. But if you're into episode 1 or the pod racers, then maybe this is one you would want to get. Not many reviews on this on YouTube, but there are a couple, and they look at the figure loose, so maybe that's probably the best way to do it. I'm going to keep this one carded. CLEGG Holdfast, Build a Droid 11, Legacy Collection. Alright, cheers. Okay, here we've got the rocket firing Boba Fett. I already had 2 of these. I've got them at the end of or the beginning of 2011, and I got these ones this week. I think they arrived last Friday. So you've got Boba Fett here with the rocket fire. I've got 2 of them. They work out at Toys R Us because they're selling them off. You buy 1, get 1 half price. You're only allowed to buy 2 at a time. Rocket fire Boba Fett. So there's the 2 boxes. I've done a photo montage of this figure before and sort of video footage before, but I've never reviewed it. I'm not going to take it out of the packet. There's enough reviews of this figure. Everyone wants this one. This is what they promised back in the 79, 78, and we never got it. So finally we've got the rocket firing Boba Fett. The figure is a very good reproduction of the original vintage, which I have to show you as well, just the figure loose. Great figure, great image. This is just how it was back in the 1979 when this figure was finally released on card. It was also a mail away. I think I got my one, which is this one here, as a mail away. I don't remember getting it on card, but you know, we're talking a long time ago. My memory's not quite up to remembering how I got this Boba Fett figure. This is the original 1979 as it's dated on the thing. This is a brilliant figure and a bit worn, and as you can see the rocket there's non-firing version. It's glued in, still stayed in after all them years. Great figure. If you hold it to the new figure you can see that it's the new figure's a lot bigger. and the legs at a wider stance. The new figure is also more slightly darker grey plastic, but the paint job's pretty much exact. So these two figures are very similar. His blaster's sort of rubbery, which is a shame because it should have been done in a harder plastic. But you can see that Hasbro Kenner have done a really good job in reproducing the figure for 2010. And if Toys R Us in the UK are selling these figures off for £2 per customer, I can't say not to get them, because it works out £7 each including postage. So it's worth picking these up now, because once they're gone, they're gone. And I think it's better than sending off, doing the mail away offer, because then you don't have to vandalise Star Wars cards if you wanted to, because you have to open 5 or 6 cards just to get the proof of purchases to send in to Hasbro to get this figure. So it works out much cheaper just to buy them at Toys R Us in the UK for £7 each. And also behind this I've got the Boba Fett here, Kubrick, which is the vintage style figure. What's rare about this figure is it's the rocket firing J slot chase variant, and so that's why this one's really rare. So you've got 2 rocket firing FETs plus the original vintage, my vintage one. So you've got quite a few nice figures there. You've got the Kubrick rocket firing, which I've got the packaging behind this one. And I've done a review of that. So this is the J slot chase, and this is pretty hard to find, from 2009. Let's see if you can see the J slot. I'm not going to take that out of the package because it's so worth a lot of money. Big money. Check out Brian's Toys if you want to know how much this is worth. Okay, and then you've got so I guess this is a bit like Laugh It Up Fuzzball 7 with his bits of what can only be described as vintage crap. This Boba Fett would have no head, but it'd be worth £1 million. 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. You've got to watch that video to know what I'm rabbiting on about. And then you've got the rocket firing Boba Fett, which looks just fantastic on the card. Still need to get the white prototype Boba Fett, but these are £7 in the UK at the moment, so just pick them up. Looks wicked. Look at that image. It's classic Boba Fett. You're talking to buy that on a vintage card, I mean from a 1979, you're talking £1,000, so this is the only way you can afford to own this card. There's the original card back with the Boba Fett. So great figure, great item. I've got 2 of them for £7 each. It works out, including postage and packaging. The original 1979 Boba Fett that I've had since about that time. Bit tacky now. And then the Kubrick Boba Fett chase. I've taken photographs of that. So go to Toys R Us if you live in the UK. You have to do it online, and you get limited to 2 per customer, so you can only afford 2. You have to pay a £5, but it works out altogether £14. So £7 a figure, can't complain. Great offer. So Boba Fett just looks wicked, and this figure, for anyone over 35, this figure means a lot. So you know, great figure. And there's my original Boba Fett and my Kubrick J slot chase, which is super rare. Okay, so done in the vintage style paint job. And you can, if you want to see better review of that or better photographs, check my earlier review of that figure. So there you go. Okay, so it's time to say goodbye from these 24-hour plastic people. Okay, cheers, bye.